Hey Amy, so I'm going to go over a few things real quick. 1 or 2 times a week I do a really quick macro assessment. It's just going over your food logs and showing a few things. So good job on your steps. I just wanted to throw that in there because it's really good and really important, the movement that you do outside of your workouts. So great job. And so those are your set macros at the top to aim at. So 1900 calories, and I'm going to explain to you in a different module later on how your calories are calculated and like with your macros, so then you better understand it, and you'll understand how the calorie bracket is made up of the carbs, fats, and proteins, and when you're looking at a nutritional label you'll understand it more. But so everything you eat in a day is going to calculate what you are trying to aim at the top, that 1900 calories, and the protein, carbs, and fats grams. So right underneath of that, I have March 13th, which is basically 1100 calories. And the one below that for the 14th, your protein was good. So that's why I highlighted it. Your protein was great. But on that Sunday, March 13th, your carbs and fats were a little low. So you could have actually added in a few more things in your day. You could have added in some cheese, some more bread, rice, pasta. You could have added in some more things to up your carbs and fats. And always remember that there are higher fat carbs and lower fat carbs. And then you also have fat dense foods like cheese, oils, nuts, avocado. So you could have definitely upped your calories a lot more by adding in more carbs and fats in that day. Your protein was great. And then that Monday below that, you were at about like 1600 calories, which is great. Your protein was good. You could have added in like, I don't know, like one more serving of a low-fat carb, because your fats were already where they should be. So if you would have added in something like fruit or even some pretzels, those are zero fat carbs. You could have done that. But either way, the 1600 calories is good. Even if you had a glass of wine, that would have upped your carbs, or a White Claw, a couple White Claws, that would have upped your calories and upped your carbs without any fats. So you could have snuck those in there. Okay, so on the left, you will see your full day of meals for Wednesday. And you were at about 1500 calories, which is great. So it's a good mark to hit because you're not too low and you're not too high. And it's hard to get 100% accurate with your food logs. So just assume that you ate a little bit more than what's logged on there. So you're at about 1500 calories for that day of all these foods on the left side of this. Your protein was great. Your fats were pretty good. You didn't go over and you're not way under. So the only thing you could have done was literally add in like one serving of carbs and you would have been great. You could have added in another half a cup of rice. Instead of the half a cup, you could have had a full cup of rice and your day would have been perfect. So one thing I want to go over with this food log is your breakfast. So your breakfast consisted of 2 protein-dense items. So most likely, you definitely is a high protein meal because you had a serving of cottage cheese and you had a serving of a protein powder, like a protein drink. So what you could have done is change that. Instead of doubling up on proteins, you could have chosen one of those, like your shake, and then you could have added like a serving of peanut butter and maybe an apple or a small banana in there, just to have a more adequate, like balanced meal. Because sometimes when you eat just protein, or like a lean protein or just a lean carb, you're going to be hungry because you don't have enough fats in there to keep you fuller for longer. And then vice versa, if you had just something like fruits, you didn't have enough fats or protein to keep you fuller. So that breakfast meal was pretty much all protein with not a lot of fats or carbs in it. So you could have added a carb and a fat serving to one of those protein choices, and it would have been better because you would have gotten more nutrients, you would have stayed fuller for longer with having carbs, fats, and proteins in that meal, as opposed to just protein, like a lean protein source. But overall, great job. I can already see the improvement, and each week you're going to learn a little bit more and more on how to just adjust things and add things in and tweak things. So at the very bottom, I'm always going to show more examples of pre and post workout foods, like examples. So lately I've been on this kick with this chocolate peanut butter and these banana chips. I will literally have one half a serving, which is 1 teaspoon or 1 tablespoon of the cocoa peanut butter, and just like a handful of the banana chips. That's like my pre-workout right before I work out. So you're getting sugar, you're getting carbs, and you're getting a little bit of fat intake, and like a tiny bit of protein. There's not much in that peanut butter for a half a serving. But the fats and the simple carb sugar intake is going to fuel you for that workout that you're going to do. And you're not overloading, in excess peanut butter or banana chips. You're just getting a good serving of it. Like I did a half a serving of the peanut butter, and I just did a small handful of the banana chips, and I did my workout right after. That's going to fuel you. And you could actually do that afterwards too. It's really good to get in a simple carb right after a workout along with the protein, because your muscles and body need that glycogen refill, that sugar back in there. You'll feel better. A lot of times when people cut down carbs too much and don't place them after a workout, they can feel lightheaded. They can feel they don't feel as good as they should. But along with a protein dense item, like say you had a protein shake after your workout, you could add a tablespoon of that chocolate peanut butter, and either a half a banana or just eat some banana chips. That would be a perfect post workout. And then rule of thumb is always after you have your post workout intake, whenever your body feels hungry, that's when you eat a full meal again. So I'm going to wrap it up, and I want to focus more on this before I send the next training module. So I just want to take the rest of this week to focus on maybe one more food log I'll go over just like this in this type of video, and some more pre and post workout examples of foods. So I'm going to wrap it up, and we'll talk soon.